Good morning, everybody. How's it going? What's going on? Who we got back here? We have Mr. Beans, Austin. Good morning over on X. How you doing, buddy? What's up? What's up? What's up? Can't wait to see you in National. Dr. Feelgood, good morning. How are you today? I DM'd you the page. Hopefully you got it. If not, check your Twitter. It's there. Great Mike, what's up? How you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And who we got here? Mahashian? Love you, good. All right, stay for the show and chat. Let's see what's going on. How'd you find us? Are you a parent? How'd you get here? Do you know VFriends? Let me know what's going on. David loves his commercials. Butterfinger commercial. Ooh, I don't think I got a Butterfinger commercial this morning. That sounds like it's right up Mr. IJ Rob's. IJ, where does Butterfinger rank on your list of candies? Is it top 100, top 10? Where do you think it's at? For me, I think it's like top 5. Butterfinger is my jam. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good morning, Jason. With
Good morning,
shirts hanging above his head. All right.
I made some shirts for my daughter. Oh, hang on. I'm echoing. Hang on. Oh, that's you. That's not me. Can you hear me now? Did you freeze? Oh no. Well, hey everybody, it's me.
Oh, hey there, Jason.
Hey,
I'm back.
Dom, how are you today?
I'm doing okay. Like I said, not in the 9 plus club this morning, but I feel myself inching there. I stepped out. I noticed the sun was rising right as I was starting up the show, so I stepped outside for a minute to get some fresh air and kind of see what was going on out there. So I'll bounce up for sure. Just I don't know, feeling a little tired this morning, but all good, man.
Yeah, a little lethargic. I know I am opposite of you. I think last time I was on Monday, I was on the lower tier. You're definitely tier 1, or you were tier 1 on Monday. I think I'm tier 1 today. Tier 1,
Yeah.
9, whatever you want to call it. Dr. Feelgood, my candy list. Currently, number 1 is Mambas. Mambas? You ever have Mambas?
Yeah, that's like a Now and Later, right?
It's kind of like a Now and Later, except better.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Hi-Chews,
Yep.
it's like that, except it's like only the inside part, I think.
Okay.
Those are definitely addicting. Butterfinger has been a lifelong number 1/number 2. And I'm pretty sure Butterfingers are why I had cavities early on. I'm not blaming you, Mom, but my mom would used to get me like a whole box of like king size Butterfingers for my birthdays, and I would keep it in my closet, and I would snack on them. And I probably didn't brush my teeth, but those are, and I think those are like one of the few candies that haven't maybe I'm mistaken. One of the few candies that haven't changed over the years. Like, you know how some candies just taste different based on like chocolate. I know chocolate's gone through changes. I know there was like some controversy with American chocolate versus whatever chocolate came from anywhere else. And it's probably not even chocolate at this point. Sometimes Kristen gets worried when like candy drops and it's a chocolate candy. Uh, but I'm not really worried because I don't really think it's chocolate. I think it's just kind of like a amalgamation of a bunch of things that taste like chocolate
Yeah.
with minimal cacao.
Yeah, Butterfinger's been a staple for me like my entire life. So it's good to
Yeah.
know it's shared. The love is shared.
But it
Uh
will Butterfinger will also be always the number one ice cream topping.
oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. I agree with that statement.
Or
100%.
frozen, or frozen yogurt.
Yeah. Like a mix in at Cold Stone or yeah. Sour Patch Watermelon Maxi. Okay. All
Ooh,
right.
Sour Patch Kids. That's yeah. That's a close number. There's like I have like a number one, a 1.5, and a 2. I don't think I have a 3. And Sour Patch
Well, I
Kids would
think you like have to have like a number one chocolate and then a number one like fruit based, like not actual fruit, but like like a Skittles, Starburst, like, they're just completely different for me. Like when I go to the store and I'm like wanting candy, I'll get like one chocolate item and one of the whatever you want to call it. The Skittles, the Sour Patch, the sour gummy worms or whatever. You can't just have chocolate is what I'm saying.
yeah, fruit based, red dye number 2, same thing.
Or you could just put Mentos in Coke, is what David's
Great,
saying.
great for teeth. It's a great it's a great cleanse.
So I wanted to ask something. I wanted to ask how people have ran into this situation because I found myself in a difficult situation and I yesterday and I thought I handled it okay, like better than normal. But I don't think my wife feels the same way. So I rearranged my schedule a little bit and I was home yesterday. Bentley had his graduation. We were all, amped up and excited. It's a graduation from kindergarten, right? So there's that. It's just kindergarten. And my wife made balloon arches for decorations there. So she was having like a very busy 24 hours of like filling up all these balloons, then getting them into her car, then getting them to the school. Thankfully, that took out the pressure of waiting in line because she donates her time, the school gives her front row seats. So that's pretty cool. I didn't have to worry about that. But so my job was to get all the kids to school, um, which was very difficult because the school schedules have changed a little bit. Like Bailey used to go super early and there was no traffic. Now she doesn't have a zero period, so we're just sitting in a line of traffic. Um, so then I'm rushing across to get Bentley to school on time, and I did barely. He was like the last kid in. Um, and then I went home, shower, changed, parked, walked to because there was no parking because there's so many people there. So I walked to the graduation and fine, like front row seats, no problem at all. And then the kids start walking in, and Bentley is bawling his eyes out, like saying his, dude, sorry, my voice is going wet. Hold on. He's bawling his eyes out, saying that his stomach hurts. And, it kind of seems like it's nerves, right? He walks into a crowded room of people he doesn't know. And so like came over to us real quick so we can like kind of cheer him up a little bit. And this was a graduation where all the kids actually learned like 3 different songs. So it was like a singing performance by them slash graduation ceremony. And the whole time he just sat there like stone faced, not singing, not doing anything. Like my wife's recording video of him, and I'm like why are you recording? Like he's not doing anything. And there were a couple of times where I would try to like catch eyes with him and be like,
I'm
like
still listening.
smile, like
Dogs.
wake up, whatever, like and I was feeling myself getting frustrated, because it's one of those moments where he had prepared for it, learning all the songs, and was super excited for it, and then it was just he got nervous about all the people, and then he clammed up and couldn't figure out how to shake himself out of that. And it felt like a, I don't know what it is, it feels like a missed memory, like it could have been a good memory. So I'm like having like this like push and pull in my brain about like that it was like kind of a bummer, but then also it's not a big deal. I don't know. Ever had anything like that?
So if I could rephrase that, is your question on how to handle on how to handle that, like a negative experience in front of people, like how to, are you asking like how to frame it for him,
I don't know if I was just,
or are you just kind of wondering how to, whether to like knock this down as like a learning experience or a
yeah, I mean,
failure?
I guess part of me just felt like having those thoughts of like, damn it, like this sucks. Like, I don't know. I was just feeling bad in the moment about like the whole event and the whole situation. Like, I want to say got ruined, but like, I don't think that's like the right word. It just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like that moment never comes back, right? That was a thing that's never going to be a thing again. And it just, part of it bums me out, but there's another part of me that's like, it is what it is. There are going to be other types of events like this. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm wrestling with it inside. I don't think it's anything where like like Amy's not mad at me. And like I said, it's not like I stormed off or was pissed. Like I was smiling and trying to get him to like laugh. And then like as soon as he got out of there, he was fine. Like we took pictures together, he smiled, like it was literally just like stage fright, and I can't, it's not like I can say like, why do you have that? Like like crippling stage fright as a kid all the way up until like the 7th grade. Like I couldn't ever speak in front of a classroom without crying. So like I cried in front of my peers like all the way to 6th and 7th grade. And now I'm like, on a morning show with people I've never met before, tuning in and commenting.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. Okay, so public event, singing. What, it sounds like you are taking blame for it. That's what it sounds like. Like you're kind
Yeah. I
of,
mean, because I just sat there like wanting to like pull him out of the group to like talk to him more and like shake him out of it, because I just felt so bad that he was just standing there like he wasn't crying the whole time. Like he stopped crying, but he just like stone faced it, like, and he was doing some of the hand, because when they do their songs, they have like little hand movements and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, and so he was doing them, but like way below, like where you could just see his hands moving, like kind of like this instead of like where the hands were supposed to be, like, yeah, I don't, I, I, I think it's just an internal thing that I'm like trying to, I don't want, I think none of us want our kids to grow up with like those things that we grew up with. Like that was always a very difficult part of my grade school and childhood years, is like being that. And I don't know how he got it, because I don't feel I'm that way. mm, I don't feel I'm that way as much anymore. Is it really hereditary?
Um,
Stage fright?
well, I'll say no. The way that I can relate to your story is that my middle girl Junie, she's probably the most prone to have an experience like you described, where it might be in public and things just aren't going right and their emotions are all over the place. That's going to happen to any kid. Doesn't happen to every kid,
Yeah.
right? My kids are vastly different. Um, I would say start with saying it's not directly your fault, and you were there the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
will he remember it as a bad experience? Probably. But what would you have rather done? Like run up there and like take him down from there? I don't know if that was a solution. Sometimes like being I don't remember like any like specific situations like that where I had a breakdown, but I do remember plenty of experiences where I was just uncomfortable and felt out of my element.
Yeah.
And I think something that I got decent at was kind of soaking in that, like I've been here before. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. Just don't move and nobody will see you or something like that.
Well, yeah,
uh,
and just know that like it'll be over with soon, and
yeah,
you'll still be alive. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's because I can't explain it. I can't explain why. I could never do it as a kid, or why it suddenly like triggered um differently in high school. Or I was just able to, in high school not have to speak in front of class because they didn't have that. And it wasn't actually until like a college speech class that I took that kind of helped me get out of it. And then obviously once I got into life and work and I had to speak in front of people every day, it's not a big deal. But yeah.
I also took a speech class, um, which did help for
Yeah.
sure. Um, why don't we rephrase? Let's maybe reframe that. You were there the entire time, and one thing
Hmm.
you might tell yourself is that what he will remember is that you were there at the end. Maybe he saw you in the audience, right? Like it's
Oh
not
yeah.
like it was abandoned. You were there as a family with him, even though it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think, I think it's a lot easier to say it coming from the outside than being you. But no, it's definitely not your fault. I think every kid's going to feel that way once in a while, and there's going to be crash and burn experiences. Um, and that's I would just take that as it is. There's probably going to be some great ones too. There might be another concert. This was like a choir thing or a concert.
Yeah, it was technically their kindergarten graduation,
Oh,
but they
kindergarten. Oh man, yeah.
they performed three different songs. So, and they were cute songs, and he'd been practicing them all week, and Amy was telling me like, "Oh, you're gonna like they're so adorable. Like I can't wait for you to see them," because she sees it like practicing all week and I don't see it. And and then I just didn't get to see it at
Yeah,
all.
kindergarten, there's at least 3 to 5 kids who are just not feeling it, and
Yeah.
like,
And it was my kid this time.
yeah, there's always going to be. It's not always going to be your kid, and like those were not some of my favorite memories, even if it went well. Nor do I remember them. You know, there's going to be plenty of other good things that take the place of those.
Yeah. See? All right. So Chell's dropped one of the reasons Chell's dropped out of college was speaking classes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be some stuff that'll be talked about. That was a lot. Yeah, the messages get real big sometimes, Chelsea. It almost covered our entire face.
First one to cover our face with a message gets something. They get a box to to rip open, I guess. I am not. This is the one time where I'm really not feeling the FOMO of being involved in the card world. I saw you guys. One of you gentlemen got scanned by some guy.
Oh, a bunch of people did. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a thing going on right now.
I gladly missed that train.
Yeah.
No.
It's this.
But
Yeah. We don't want to trigger Chels this early in the morning. So.
I'm almost done with my cross-stitch Grateful Gar though.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. That's cool.
I spent hours on this thing, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it besides show it on the screen. We got 7 minutes left. Let's talk about today's page. Did you read?
I did. Yeah, I did. I like this question, but I'm still unsure. Yeah, there you go.
I am cross-stitching J or Rob. J or J Rob. It's a habit I picked up over winter break last year. It is ridiculously addicting and maddeningly relaxing. I recommend it to every middle-aged man and woman.
All right, there you go. Oh man. Anyways, what do you think of the reading?
Yeah, this was good. And what did you do? The situation is a kid gets into a situation, might be a fight, might be an insult battle, something. Maybe they retaliate. Maybe there's like a shoving match, or they're being made fun of, and they do something in return, and they're the one that gets caught. This is an analogy that I use with my students all the time, and sometimes my kids, the ref will always see the retaliation in a game. They will rarely ever see the first infraction.
Yeah.
Especially in soccer, and definitely in school. And what did you do is a line that I've dropped on students before. You know, whether like yes they were made fun of first, and or yes maybe they were shoved first, or they got mad and retaliated in some way. When I'm at my best and like trying to guide them in good decisions, I have said, and what did you do as that conversation? And the good part about that, there's a good and bad to this. The good part is it does go into a deeper conversation of what to do in those situations instead of act on your immediate impulse. The bad is I normally end up holding that second kid to a much higher standard than the first kid who did the thing, whether it was like making fun of them or making a comment or shoving them. So I've handled this discussion positively, and I'm sure I've done it not the best before. Kind of a learning experience for me too. But it's my goal with it is trying to help students make good decisions in what to do in situations where they've felt slighted or besmirched, however you want to put it.
Yeah, it's those moments, like even with just because when you said all that, I think about my kids, like the sibling things, and it's the same. It's kind of a question I ask for my older kids. It's like, and what did you do? I don't think it's that phrase that way, but it's very much like you get in these like little tit for tat moments, and someone's got to stop it, and that's kind of like one of the main things I think as parents we're constantly trying to teach our kids is like be the person that stops it, like be the persons that changes the momentum of it, because getting into these little fights and arguments and spats and just going, uh, higher and higher to the next level. Like it's only going to get worse and worse until someone puts a stop to it. And like if you as the kid can learn to do that, like it's going to be infinitely beneficial for you in that relationship with whoever that person is and just you going forward versus like always having it be stopped by an adult, a teacher, a proctor, your parent, etc. I think it's getting our kids to that place, and it's a grind, right? Like sometimes kids get it easily. Like I feel like my firstborn, I feel like she's got it down. Like she understands it. Like it's going nowhere but worse. And my middle child's getting there. I honestly think it's just experience. Like it comes down to like until they experience what it's like to to get to that point of getting out of control with someone. Uh, it's hard to teach it. A lot of things are hard to teach without experience.
Yeah, my mind goes to how to constructively teach kids on how to defend themselves. In a school situation, it gets weird. It's like it seems like the general rule is, and my mind goes right to like a physical fight or something. That's where my mind goes first. I think it's important for kids to know how to defend themselves. In school, the general rule, wherever you are in the nation or world, or at least nation, I don't know where it is. I feel like in Australia, it's just like whoever wins wins. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here it's like generally it's like, if you're involved, whether you instigated it or whether you retaliated, you get a consequence, and that really puts a quash on the concept of self-defense. So yes, I would want my girls to defend themselves, and I'm sure this conversation has been had by many parents, is if you're defending yourself and you didn't start it, I don't care if you get suspended, right? And like that's my
Yeah.
thinking on it. But in a school with other kids, it's you want to avoid that. You want to try to avoid those situations. And when something like an insults start flying, that's when you have to step in, or that's when I have to step in and rephrase a question. Is like, they'll say, well, they started it. And sometimes I'll say, well, how are you going to end it? And I don't always have the answer to that, right? But
Yeah.
I think that does enough for the my kid, to take a pause and think about something different. It definitely interrupts the flow of those difficult conversations. And it's not really something that I have an answer to. It's more like just a different way to think about that situation. Because as a kid, even as an adult, you want to do the same thing that was done to you, but worse, so it stops. But that just makes it worse. I've even gone as far as, this is something I learned from my dad as a teacher. Let's say a kid does something to another kid. I took this from my dad. He said, so this is the advice my dad gave me. He says, so what you ask him is, what are you going to do back to him? That did not work out well, so don't do that. That just puts it. Did I explain that correct? My dad was basically stoking the fire between students. I thought it might result in a different way. That was my first year teaching. Never did that again.
He set you up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a difficult. It's just like with your kid, with your son. You don't have the answer to it. You hate when kids get into that situation or a difficult situation, and sometimes the only thing you can do is hope to rephrase it into a positive experience.
Yeah. Yes, sir. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Dodgeball. Going to the
All
gym.
right. I'm feeling better. I'm ready. The sun's up.
We're at a +8 today.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I feel +8. I feel good.
I'm feeling
Some-
+9, guys. I am on. I got 2 more days of school left. I will be on cloud 9,
Look at this guy.
+9, and I hope you all join me. And
Look at this guy.
hope to share that positive energy, especially on Friday. I will be in Zen mode on Friday morning. So
Let's go. Summer break. It is almost here, y'all. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. Appreciate you all. Mugs with coffee, hearts with gratitude. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. See you, buddy.
hey, friends. See you, Dom.
Thank you.